your favorite wine shop, faced with a dizzying array of selections. 100 different Chardonnays, 500 different Cabernets, not knowing what makes one wine taste different from the other, ordering wine by the price or by the label. Who here is a price person by a show of hands? And who here is a label person by a show of hands? And who here just doesn't want to participate? Or you walk into your favorite French restaurant. We'll call it Restaurant Très Cher. That high school French paid off for you. Restaurant Très Cher. And when the sommelier brings over the wine list, while we were taught to read from left to right, our eyes dive right to the right-hand side of the page, the price. It's amazing to me, as someone who loves wine so much, how many people order a bottle of wine with no earthly idea of what the wine will taste like. It wasn't a question, but thank you for your honesty. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm going to suggest, if we take a macro approach to the world of wine, there are 5 things, 5, that will make one wine taste different from any other wine you're going to come in contact with. Number 1, the grape or grapes. More than anything else, it's going to be this raw material that is going to give you the taste of the wine. Now, there are more than 10,000 grapes grown around the world, and many of you know many of them. Chardonnay, Cabernet, Sauvignon Blanc, Merlot, Pinot Gregario. Can you hear the jokes of the cheap seats? Number 2, region. And here's a little cheat. If you know how to read a map, if you know a little bit about geography, you will know a lot about what a wine will taste like. Wines that come from cooler places, where the grapes don't get as ripe, will have higher acid levels, be lighter, and have lower alcohol. I'm starting to like you guys. Think Marlborough, New Zealand. Conversely, wines that come from warmer places. Think Napa Valley. Think Coonawarra, Australia. Wines from warmer places will be more full-bodied, be richer in style, and have higher alcohol. You guys are quick learners. I like you guys a lot. Number 3, soil. Grapes, vines can grow in different types of soils. Soils can be clay, sandy, slate, volcanic. And that's going to make a difference as well. Number 4, vintage. To me, a bottle of wine is like a snapshot of a vintage year. And each year is going to be different. Some years might be more rainy, some years might be warmer. Different years, different results. And number 5, lastly, how was the wine made? The choices that the winemaker made in the vineyard or in the winery, of which there are thousands of choices. Where to plant, how to ferment. Example, this side of the room, we all go out to Napa Valley and harvest Chardonnay grapes and put them in oak barrels. So the resulting wines will taste, well, on a regular basis, I have to taste through more than 200 wines in a week. And if I'm writing an article on the wines of Stellenbosch, South Africa, or Colchagua Valley in Chile, I've got to travel to fabulous places, stay at 5-star hotels, have multi-course feasts for lunch and dinner, and on those trips, I generally have to taste through more than 200 wines in a day. You are late on that cue. In a day. Now, if there was not a methodology as to how to taste wine, I would generally be on the floor at 9 a.m. There's a very technical term in my world for that. It's called palate fatigue. But when I went to college, we called this praying to the porcelain god. I'm going to suggest a way to taste wine as a way that you remember what you're tasting. And this I call the 6 S's of wine tasting. Here we go. See, swirl, smell. Everybody.
See, swirl, smell.
Sip, swish, spit.
Sip, swish, spit.
You are making me blush. You're looking at the outermost ring, which is called the meniscus, to see the color of this wine. And who would like to, this is the participation part of the program, the color of this Sauvignon Blanc.
Buttery.
The color is buttery. Okay, buttery. Looks a little bit like butter. Anyone else? To me, it looks quite pale. It's got a yellow, pale yellow, greenish tinge to it. It looks to me a little bit. It looks to me a little bit like cat's piss. Excuse me, un peu de pipi de chat. So when you swirl the wine and stick your nose all the way in the glass, you get more of the wine's aroma or bouquet. See, swirl, smell, sip, swish. Take a comfortable amount of the wine on your palate and get it all around your mouth where your palate perceives sweet, sour, bitter, salt, savory. Let's all do this together, but before we do, let's raise a glass, turn around, and say hello to someone we've never met before.